So I'm sure you've seen many tutorials on how to make music sound better, or fuller, or clearer, what have you. I actually made a tutorial like that. It sort of goes along with this one. But we're gonna do a little thing, making your music sound worse. In this case, making your music sound like it's being played off a cassette tape. Normally, the perfect way to do this is to get a tape deck and then play whatever music you want to put on a tape into the tape deck, record it to cassette tape, then use a line out of the cassette tape, record it back to the computer, and you know what, it's just a bit of a hassle, frankly. You need to use up actual tape to do it, and this is a very similar outcome, and it half the work. So basically what you need is a digital song, obviously. It doesn't matter if it's MP3 or lossless or whatever, because it's all going to sound the same at the end, but just so you know, the example is here. It's a clear sounding song. Another thing you're going to need is some tape noise. You can probably generate noise to get this sort of effect, but I personally used a blank cassette. I played it on my tape deck for about like 10 minutes and got this. That's what tape noise sounds like. But we're just going to go to Audacity here, and like the other tutorial, I'm using 2.1.1 for the plugins that come with it. So we're going to go to the effect window. You're going to scroll down until you find De-esser by Spitfish. It's a weird name. Basically what this is supposed to do is, for any audio that has a lot of syllabants, I think the term is, basically the sounds that come with the letter S or G, basically what sounds like S and is like overbearing and upsetting, it's supposed to remove that, and it does an alright job actually. But if you have this, you want to change your settings so that they look more or less like this. I'll let you look at that for just a second. You can pause the video, figure it out. You want to hit apply, and as you can see, the spectrogram of the song, things just dumbed down a little bit. Let's take a listen now. It's a bit less clear than it was. Sometimes you can get away with doing the effect twice. Hit Control R, do it again in a snap. Now, the bonus with doing this more than once is it won't just, cut the frequencies, but it'll also sort of compress the volume. And it just sounds a little bit more like a really crappy cassette tape. So, another thing we can try to do here is, with the added effects, one of them is going to be DJ EQ, and you want to just lower the high gain a little bit. So let's see if we can adjust that. Perfect. Alright, we're going to let that go. As you can see, it just dumbed off a lot more of the frequencies there. Going to take your tape noise, drag that into Audacity, let that import. It's going to take a while because it's a long file. We can cut it off at the end. Basically, before we do anything, I'm just going to cut off the end here. As you can see the spectrogram here, it's all noise. And once we have that with the dumbed down audio, just take a listen. As you can see, it's a pretty faithful effect. So what we can do from here is you can export the audio, because there's not much more you have to do. I would save it as a lossless file, free lossless audio codec over here, only because if you were to save it as MP3, it would probably use the low-pass filter and cut off a lot of the upper frequencies. This is just so we have everything intact. Name that whatever you want. Now we can get rid of these and go ahead and import, just to check it out, the file we just made. As you can see, it looks like it's being played on cassette. Again. Now, just to compare it to something that is actually from a crappy cassette, let's, hold on just a second. This song right here is on some compilation CD full of punk music from Long Island, New York, and I can tell you right now it is cassette sourced, and look at that. The spectrum analysis, excuse me, I can't speak today, looks very similar to what we just made here. And if we listen to this, it's not a very good song, but, you know, this sounds similar to it. It's the easy way out. See what I did there? That's so much funnier than I thought it would be. I know. So, if you want to get this effect and not have to break out the actual cassette deck, this is how you would do it. Hope you learned something. Have a nice day.